To as going by the title itself, it says that Gita into modern mind management. It's my personal perspective. It may not match with your thinking or maybe with the theme of Bhagavad Gita, but what I personally feel about Bhagavad Gita, and taking some statements or what you can say, put it in my thoughts and presenting over here. You see that I don't need to describe this. What is Bhagavad Gita? It's a scripture within the Hindu tradition and part of the vast epic Mahabharata. And the setting of the background, which is a battlefield Kurukshetra, is a metaphor for our inner conflict, which we are facing regularly. The participant, as you know, it's Arjuna, a warrior prince, representing the struggling individual like us, and with Lord Krishna, which is we consider him to be a god, a supreme authority. As you know that Arjuna is in deep turmoil, he is hesitant to fight. Krishna's teachings, guidance, wisdom guide him on duty, reality, and controlling his mind. It addresses the fundamental human problems that we're facing regularly and offers practical guidelines for to live effectively, peacefully, and efficiently. What are the modern mind is navigating the chaos or confusions of the present world. Why? Because of the constant digital stimulations and information overload, supersaturations of informations. And more so in the current era of AI and digital world. The high pressure environments such as work, academics, social life is also mounting to pressures in the outer circumstance, outer world. That's in the high pressure environments that we're facing regularly. What are the common struggles that we find regularly? Stress, anxiety, overthinking, difficulty in focusing, and feeling of inadequacy or incompetence. Therefore, the need for effective strategies to manage our inner world should be guided from Bhagavad Gita. The nature of our inner world. Gita deeply understands the human mind. It acknowledges our restless, turbulent, strong, and obstinate nature of mind. Arjuna himself admits, like us, how difficult it is to control the mind, which is just like it's a stormy wind. Your mind isn't inherently good or bad. It is a tool. It's a state where you are neither good nor bad. If control, it's our best friend. If uncontrolled, it becomes our worst enemy. So understanding this double nature of mind is very critical and crucial. Gita is the medicine for modern life. It is just like a doctor, supreme doctor. It's a medicine for prescription for modern life. It offers solutions to questions related to the spiritual as well as to the past and to the worldly or the materialistic world. Its energy and relevance resonate deeply with anyone who faces it, who uses it, who encounters it, and regularly utilizes it in their daily lives because it transcends time and culture. It doesn't demand any material sacrifice, but at the same time, it purifies the mind and soul and enhancing our values and ethics towards our life. The Gita's perspective, the inner battlefield, the setting of Gita on the Kurukshetra battlefield is a symbol of our own inner conflict or our own inner war or battle within ourselves. Within us, there's a continuous struggle between the positive and the negative desires, likes and dislikes, good and bad. Gita helps us to understand these internal dynamics of life or the mind. The mind is powerful, restless, turbulent, strong, and obstinate. The work culture. We have two categories of work culture. One is the divine and the other one is demonic. Gita describes the two types of work culture. One is Daivi Sampad, that is divine, and Ashuri Sampad, which is demonic. Daivi, as you know, it is always positive, full of virtues, like embracing qualities like fearlessness, purity, calmness, ethical behavior, and modesty, which ultimately cultivates cosmic energy or the holy energy or the divine energy. This in turn fosters a holistic and positive environment. It creates a holy ambience. When you go with this kind of quality, automatically creates a holy ambience, which is beneficial to others, to the outer world. Ashuri, on the other hand, is ego, jealousy, misbelief, greed. lack of proper performance, and creates a negative and competitive environment, or a negative ambience. Developing dairy qualities within ourselves and actively promoting them in our surroundings is essential from our side to contribute for the genuine prosperity and effective leadership. Teaching 1, Karma Yoga, which is the path of action. This yoga is only of actions, and this yoga speaks of only actions only, performing one's duty, dharma, correctly and very sincerely. The core teaching, the subtle teaching of Karma Yoga is that we have the right to perform our prescribed duty only, and we are not at all entitled to the fruits of actions or the results. We are not concerned with that in one way, what is being expressed over here. Focus intensely on the action itself and doing our best rather than being attached to the outcome of the action. Why? Because outcomes are not influenced by many factors. Outcomes are or the results are influenced by many factors which is beyond our control and effort, or within our scope, which is not within our scope and ambit. Karma Yoga, letting go of what we can't control. What are the present stress factors, the stresses in life? For the school children, it is a perfect grades, promotions. For the working employees, winning a competition, getting a certain number of likes in our social media. This leads to anxiety about the future and disappointment in the past. Gita's application, if you apply it directly, it says, when you start a task, it recommends, it prescribes. When you start a study, that's maybe studying, working on a project, or preparing for a meeting, consciously tell yourself inwardly, my job is to give the best only in our efforts in the process. The result is not within my control, and I should not worry or get deviated from my main actions. Releasing the burden of worry redirects or deviates the mental energy into the positive aspects of life, allowing for sharper focus and more present engagement with the task, given the given task. Teaching 2, that is Buddhi Yoga, cultivating prudence. Gita emphasizes the importance of developing a sharp and discriminating intellect, that is Buddhi. This is a faculty that one can understand, make wise choices, and perceive the reality behind the illusion or deceptions or hypocrisy. A trained intellect, a trained man with the quality of Buddhi help us to differentiate between the temporal and the eternal, what is truly beneficial to us or what is just momentarily pleasurable. Right action versus wrong actions, and that too when in difficult situations like Arjuna's problems or dilemmas. A sharp and determined mind is fundamental to developing consistent wisdom. Teaching 3, and there's the core theme of my presentation, that is Abhyasa, and I have emphasized very strongly in this aspect of Abhyasa and Vairaga all throughout my presentation, that is practice and detachment. What do we mean? Arjuna asks Krishna how the restless mind can be controlled. Krishna replies, by practice of disciplined regularity, that is Abhyasa, and by detachment, that is Vairaga. Abhyasa is consistent and disciplined effort regularly. It's a regularity, Abhyasa. Regularly training the mind, like exercising our mind in a mental gym. This involves repeating positive habits and mental gyms. And what is Vairaga? Vairaga is cultivating a quality of non-attachment. This doesn't mean not caring. We should be very careful, but not being enslaved or being controlled by desires, fears, avoidance, or even with our own thoughts. The point is to observe them while maintaining a sense of separation or space without fully identifying with them. Practicing Abhyasa and detachment to manage our mental traffic. What are the modern challenges that we face regularly? Getting caught in modern mental challenges, getting caught in loops of negative thinking, worries, dwelling on the past and the future, and impulsive reactions driven by desires. How do we apply Abhyasa? What is the application? And these are some of the suggestions that I have mentioned over here to the younger generations. initiating a regular practice, even in brief. For example, dedicating 5 minutes daily to mindful breathing, establishing a consistent study schedule at a right time by setting at a fixed time, so that we can perform that in a regular basis with the Abhyasa yoga, and allocating time for introspection and reflections. And then with these consistent efforts to cultivate mental discipline, positive habits, we are on the path of glorifications, or to the path of equanimity, which I'll be describing more carefully in my next slides. Vairagya applications. When a worry appears, notice it. Don't immediately get drawn into it. Mentally step back and observe it just as a passing thought. Simply notice it and allowing it to move along like a passing cloud. Teaching 4, Samadhya yoga or equanimity is a state of balance, mental balance, composure, and evenness of mind, which is very difficult to, it's very easily said than done. But if you follow some of the prescriptions which is being said in Gita, I think we can easily do it. Since it is doable, it is being said by Gita. It means remaining undisturbed and peaceful amidst life's inevitable dualities, that is pleasure and pain, and staying neutral during the pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure, praise and criticism. Instead of surprising these feelings, the disturbing feelings, we should focus on creating inner stability that stays calm even when things outside are very difficult and confusing. Samadva in practice, riding life's waves. When something wonderful happens, enjoy it, but remember it's very, very temporary. We should avoid excessive attachment to the outside world, the enjoyment of the outside world. At the same time, when a setback occurs, like tragedy or dangers, whatever it is, acknowledge the difficulty, but consciously strive to maintain internal calmness, that is the inner calmness. And we should respond very constructively from a balanced state of mind to these, hazards, problems, traumas, anxieties, worries of life. And we can only do that when you have a balanced state of mind as prescribed in the Samadhi. Recognize that a true worth is not defined by external outcomes or what others talk about to you. True worth is potentially divine and infinite. We should care less about what others are talking about us. Gita students for young minds. Gita guidance for young minds and students. The student's phase is often marked by significant stress due to academic pressures, exams, deadlines, future uncertainties. Gita's wisdom is profoundly relevant for students. Karma yoga, which is very crucial for exam, it suggests, it gives us a strong indications that we should focus intensely on the process of studying and preparation and giving out our best. It releases automatically the anxiety over the final grade if we solely focus on the process of studying, or that is in a work. Buddhi yoga, on the other hand, is an instrument by which we can plan our studies effectively, choose relevant subjects, and bring out reliable informations. It says, don't let a restless mind jump between the tasks, and always train it to focus with your Buddhi's guidance. Gita for students, managing social and personal stress, the social pressure, the need to fit in with our anticipated imaginations, anticipated thinking, aspirations, expectations is always creating social pressure upon us. And also the peer pressure, that is the peer groups. And the social media comparison by regular posts in the social media, which creates social pressure. We should use our freedom to identify healthy relationships and genuine values, and practice, once again, vairagya from excessive concern about others' opinions and superficial validation like likes and followers in the social media. Emotional turmoil, that is disappointments, conflicts, and uncertainties. We should strive for equanimity, the samadva, which I have described more fully in my earlier slides. when facing social setbacks or challenging personal feelings. Practice observing difficult emotions, that is by Vairagya, without letting them uh, command you or dictate your actions. Connecting ancient wisdom with modern practice. Mindfulness. We find mindful meditation every day in different papers, newspapers, that we are having this kind of time, this meditation, that meditation, but it is all about paying attention to the present moment, non-reactively, and meditation, eh, concentrating or focusing upon only an avyasa and vairagya, that is practice regularity and detachment. Cognitive restructuring. It means that utilizing Buddhi Yoga, that is disseminating intellect, to challenge unhelpful, unfavorable, and negative thoughts to ourselves. It challenges, it acts as some kind of a barrier, a safeguard to ward off these unhelpful thoughts in our life. Stress management is focusing on uncontrollable factors, which automatically equals karma yoga, focus on action and not on results. Building emotional resilience, that is ability to recover, come back, and adapt well in the changing circumstances when facing stress, adversity, or trauma. We should align it with cultivating samatva or equanimity, and will ultimately lead us to the right path. The benefits of integration, cultivating resilience and peaceful mind. The benefits, number one, it reduces our stress and anxieties, especially related to results and outcomes. It gives us improved focus, concentration, and productivity by directing mental energy effectively, and creates an emotional resilience to handle life challenges, which we get. Emotional resilience means some kind of by practicing these sadhanas, what we have talked about in the earlier slides, we automatically develop a system, a built-in system with the mind to handle life's challenges and combat, whatever problems comes to our life very, very decisively and very, very prudently. Making clearer decision-making system within us, guided by intellect rather than impulse, and we get a deeper sense of purpose rooted in duty and effort, not on results. And this fosters inner peace, stability amidst worldly chaos. Practical steps to start integrating for the young minds. Suggestions were given by reading translations of Bhagavad Gita and starting with chapters 2, Sankhya Yoga, or chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Choose one principle compulsorily, mandatorily, that resonates with Karma Yoga, and consciously we should apply it as an exercise in a specific situations on a weekly basis. And dedicating our 5 to 10 minutes of time daily for introspection, which is not meditation exactly, it is thinking about our own self by deep breathing or simple meditations. Again, that is abhyasa. Practical steps to start integrating for the young minds continued. Practice observing your thoughts. This is a practice. The whole ball game is a practice, that is abhyasa and vairagya. Practice observing your thoughts and emotions during the day without immediate reaction or judgment. Vairagya, when faced with strong reactions, anger, fear, excessive joy, pause and remember the goal of samatva. Strive for inner balance. Shankar Yoga for the youths. It helps young people to understand they are more than just the changing body, emotions, and social rules. This is to distinguish between the social and real identity. Like in my case, my social identity, Professor Sandip, goes by that my real identity is my Atman, that is my soul. Cultivating the intellect, buddhi, and discrimination, Viveka helps them, and it navigates complex choices in academics, career, and relationships. It also make us a clear perception between the fleeting trends, peer pressure, and it also gives us a sense of the true values of life. To understand the external events and feelings, Prakriti, that they are temporary and do not define our core self or the real self, that is Purusha. Reduce reactivity, the reactivity can be reduced By understanding the self as a witness to observe the thoughts and emotions part of it without being observed to it. Significant lessons to be noted from Bhagavad Gita were youngsters definitely. Selflessness is the only way to progress and prosperity. Every act can be an act of prayer. Renounce the ego. The whole concept lies in Gita is egoless. If you become ego, the degree of level of improvement, emancipation from the worldly world develops automatically. You have a higher degree of reaching for the higher purposes of life. Renounce the ego to get experience of the bliss of infinity or divine. Connect to higher consciousness by practice daily. Immortality of the soul and God presence within all will think about it, which is Vedanta. Importance of performing one's responsibility and duty without attachment to results. Karma yoga, unwavering, I repeat again, unwavering love for the Supreme Being is a seamless and the easiest path to spiritual realization or self-realizations. We should value of given blessings and see divine all around, that is all around. As our mind and heart to supreme divine, detach from materialistic assets and try to attach to divine. We are not saying that you discard materialistic assets. We are prescribing over here, we are recommending over here, detach your mind from the, detach yourself, at least your mental self from the material assets and attach to divinity. And you should go on practicing only. I don't know where you'll be ending up, but if you start practicing, you will automatically find when you detach of the material, automatically attachment to divinity comes. You don't have to crave for it. Mastering the mind and senses by lulling the techniques of exercise of what you have discussed over here, the various techniques of Vyasa and Vairagya. Understanding the modes of material nature to transcend beyond the material world. It means that the material nature is very temporal and we should try to transcend it, emanate from the material world to the higher purposes of life beyond the material world. The ultimate goal is to liberate from the cycle of birth by surrendering with sincere efforts to the supreme. Significant lessons continue. Unity of all existence and a feeling of oneness emanating from the supreme, which is Vedanta. Understanding the temporalness of the world and eternal happiness. All activities, actions dedicating to this divine, it automatically, it goes without saying, it purifies the mind to seek universal harmony and thinking of Supreme as a personal friend, philosopher, and guide continuously, which I'll be discussing if time permits, about the Ojapa Yoga. Faith is a robust foundation for motivation. Faith, the single word faith, is the foundation of the spirituality. If we have the genuine faith, blind faith, it is a solid foundation for motivation and enthusiasm for spiritual practice. Management essence from Bhagavad Gita. It's a timeless connections. It's beyond all ages. Even after 5,000 years, Gita will stay. We may not stay, we are definitely not going to stay, but Gita will stay. Gita offers profound insights applicable to effective self-management and managing interactions with the world. It provides principle for clear and intentions, not confusing intentions and actions, navigating challenges and building a positive, healthy, pleasant, peaceful, encouraging, enthusiastic work culture within ourselves and our environment. Management is integral in daily life. It touches our homes, work, and personal selves. Perfect management can only be achieved, ideally, only by Gita. Utilization of accessible resources and commitment to work. The example of Arjuna choosing Lord Krishna shows the importance of aligning with wisdom and higher guidance to utilize our limited resources wisely and optimally. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. The famous verse of the Bhagavad Gita advises detachment from the fruits of results, but fully committed to the efforts of work. Dedication solely to duty enhances focus, quality, efficiency, effectiveness, At the same time, reducing our stress. Management of anger. Lord Krishna said, the desire, want for sense of objects comes from the attachment, that is Maya, and anger generates from the unfulfilled desires. Our life's purpose lies in our duties and responsibility, fundamentally in a peaceful coexistence with everyone. Peaceful coexistence and pleasant situation, creating a pleasant situation, cordial happiness with everyone. Stability of mind. Sri Krishna says one should exercise stability of mind by yoga meditation to calm emotion, to increase viveka, buddhi, or bichakana in the middle of battle. In the middle of battle, calmness in the midst of intense activity, as said in Bhagavan Ramakrishna Dev, is very, very apt to this statement, that is the stability of the mind. Surrender to the Supreme Divine. Sri Krishna asks Arjuna to surrender the Lord with no doubts, with blind faith only, and look for the invisible Almighty as a highest divine, as a higher divine, setting aside egoistic nature. Purely on blind faith, without questioning, we can, and surrendering to the Supreme God, we can take us our life to the real path. Conclusion. What are the messages that we get from, and this is my perspective, but from my perspective, what I think, that it's an ancient text offers incredibly relevant and practical for modern mind management. Scope karma, buddhi yoga, vyasa, vairagya, and samadva, which is described over here in my presentation, provides a powerful framework for understanding and mastering our inner world. Gita's core philosophy, especially karma yoga, highlights the potential for excellence in work. Every individual, we should understand, is infinite and boundless, and it has boundless or infinite potential. The responsibility is on us to realize this divine potential with our inner consciousness and strive for ultimate excellence in our chosen fields. Trust. Trust, I repeat 100 times, trust, believe, blind belief that you are guided and supported by a divine power in all your actions. Finding stability and calmness, regardless of any chaos, disturbances from the outside world, we should practice this stability. And there's a wonderful slogan from Bhagavad Gita, which I have noted over here because I like this statement. When meditation is mastered, that conquering your own self through meditation, the mind is unwavering like a flame of lamp in a darkness, in a wellness place, and guiding others in the darkness to the glorification. Thank you so much.